Bonjour, hello, my name is Vincent Mangado, and I've been working with le Théâtre du Soleil since 1997, which makes almost 25 years now.
Hello, I'm Dominique Jambert, and as Vincent, I'm working since 1997 in the Théâtre du Soleil too.
We are both actors in the company, permanent members of the company, and we've been trained as actors in the National Drama School in the south of France. The Théâtre du Soleil has been founded in 1964 by Ariane Mnouchkinen and some other fellow actors. Very quickly, the company became famous and successful, and with collective devised work. They admitted that they were influenced by Asian theater and Asian forms, mainly from India, Japan, and then of course Indonesia, but lots of Asian forms. And it became one of the main guidelines of the company. Even in the more recent performances, which are performed on a more naturalistic way, you can still see that influence. One of the other guidelines is the work with the music. Very, very soon in the history of the company, Ariane asked a musician called Jean-Jacques Lemaitre to join the company. And he plays with us from the very first day of the rehearsals until the very last day of the performances. This is very important. We do not think that there is a possibility of theater without music.
Another point, in the Théâtre du Soleil, Ariane also asked Hélène Sixou, who is a writer and a teacher, to work with us. When we are working on collective creation, often we are improvising, but Ariane is working with Hélène to, sometimes it's to build the show dramatically, and sometimes also it's to help with the writing, depending of the show. Sometimes Hélène is writing really scenes that we are trying to interpret,
to act,
sorry, and sometimes she's rewriting our improvisation, depending of the show.
Les Naufragés du Fol Espoir is based on a novel by Jules Verne, which Ariane found on the market. She was doing the grocery, and there was a bookseller on the market, and she found this short novel. So she read the back of the book, and she learned that this was a novel published after Jules Verne's death, and that it was the original one, which he hadn't been able to fully finish. And the story was about immigrants having a shipwreck around Cape Horn and being gifted by the Chilean government an island. And they decided to accept the gift and to create a new country. And so that was the base of Jules Verne's story. And of course, it is one of the main themes of the Théâtre du Soleil. How do we live together? Who makes the law? What does it mean to create a group, to create a country, a theater group? So it's always one of the guidelines of our work. So she has been very interested by the novel. She read it, and she said, "All right, we are going to make an adaptation of this novel. That was the beginning of the adventure. In this story, I am performing one of the immigrants, a geographer, based on a real character who was one of the socialist leaders in the 19th century in France. And Dominique?
Me, I was performing Anna, which was one of the immigrants too, and she was a teacher. I was performing also one of the nuns who were here to take care, of the natives in the capital. So I had two characters.
Yes, and we are all performing several characters in the play, but these are our main characters, both in the play and the movie.
What you will see is a film version of what we were performing on stage. But for that, Ariane Mnouchkinen had to find a way to tell this story in the movie. How she will tell the story? Who will tell the story? Who will see the performance and how it will be told in a movie? So she said, okay, it will be told by children. At the beginning of the rehearsal of the play, we try to have children with us in the performance, but finally it was not necessary, and so
we rehearsed for a while with the children, and it didn't really match. We didn't absolutely needed them, so Ariane said, all right, we'll meet again for the next show. Don't worry, children. And at the beginning of the play, there was a voice telling the story and saying, the memories of my grandfather start in the attic of the restaurant Le Fol Espoir just before 1914. And we didn't need any explanation for the theater. Everybody agreed that this voice was the narrator's voice, and the narrator was supposed to be the grandson or granddaughter of one of the characters. For the movie, we tried that at the beginning, and very, very soon, Ariane realized that it was not sufficient for the cinema, the movie language. We needed, if we say these are the memories of my grandfather, we must see the man or the girl or the woman who is speaking. Then Ariane was still not happy with that. She needed to feel, not only to understand, but to feel why this person was telling the story. So she said, all right, this narrator is something like a student who is writing a thesis about this attic and this cinema group at the beginning of the 20th century. And she had a very good reason to explore and to make researches. And then she said, all right, but it is still not sufficient. I can't imagine that woman making researches and having dreams and visions. So why wouldn't she have a son or a girl who is reading and at the same time having the visions? And that's how the kids came back in the story. I hope we'll enjoy our work, because according to me, it is, although it speaks of a very old story, it's about our contemporary world with questions that are still debated and not clear everywhere in the world, like democracy, women's rights, colonization, things like that. So you will see. And
how we can build a world together.
Yes, the dreams of a better world, the dreams of an equal society, and well, these old dreams of socialism. And it's also about a dream of art. What is it to create a group of artists, and how can we live together?
The artistic quest and the humanity quest. Human quest and artistic quest at the same time.